Hey coders, in today's video, we're going to teach you how to make a two-dimensional array. Okay, so in the previous lessons, we did databases, but before databases, we learned that we can store lists of information in objects called arrays. So today we're going to do a fresh new program. It's going to be no user interface, just text-based. So let's go and go to code.org. Let's go to create, and we're going to go to App Lab. So in this particular exercise, we're going to teach you how to print out the months of the years and how many days are in each month of the year. Okay, so let's kind of review. When we created arrays, we created like this. We created a variable and we give it a name. In this case, let's call it months. And then we use these square braces to create an array. So we were able to create an array that said January and February, right? And so on and so forth, right? And this is how we start making a regular list known as an array, okay? But here's the problem though. What if I want to include not just the months, but I also want to include the days in each month? Well, do I put in, for example, like 31 days for January, and on non-leap years, 28 days for February? I could do this, but here's the problem. Well, now months in the slot 0 is January, and months in the slot 1 or index 1 is 31. So this isn't really months. This is days of the month. So should I create a second list? Maybe that's one way you could do it, right? But wouldn't it be smarter to make a list of a list? And that's what we're doing. That's what a two-dimensional array is. Two-dimension meaning that it's not just uh, a 1 by 12, but it's gonna be instead a 2 by 12. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. So January and 31 have a relationship. They are the name of the month and the days in that month. So January could look like this. Well, what about February? Well, February itself has its own list. February and 28 make up the second month of the year. But I don't want to create a variable every single time I have a new month. I want to put this all inside the variable months. Can I do that? And the answer is yes. I can make a list that contains mini list. So to do this, you need to put a square brace, because that's how you make a list, and you're going to make these commas, meaning that inside this list, in the 0 index spot, is a list of 2 items. And inside the first index of the variable month, meaning index number 1, is February, or this list that contains February and 28. So we can basically copy and paste this for the rest of the months. So let's go ahead and go down to 12 months because we know we have 12 months. Okay. And those of you who, learn from your elementary school teachers that if you use your knuckles, every big knuckle is 31 and every inside of your knuckles is 30 with the exception of February. So if you're doing March, March is a big knuckle, so that's 31. April is a non-knuckle, so that's 30. May is 31, right? June is a non-knuckle, so that is 30. And but then if you use that's your left hand, if you go to your right hand, July is also 31. August is 30. September is a knuckle, so that's 31. Wait, am I doing it wrong? let's see. January, February, March, April, May, June is 30, July is 31, August is 31. I'm sorry, August is 31, September is 30, October is 31, Halloween, and November is 30, and December is 31. Right? If you put your left hand and your right hand together, your two middle knuckles are up. So that's the two middles is July and August. They're both 31. Then after that, you go regular pattern 30, 31, 30, 31. But let's pay attention to the syntax real quickly. Okay? So this right here, these square braces right here is a list. But this list is the first object inside of a outer list. So we have basically two curly braces here and two square braces here and two square braces here, meaning that this is a list containing lists. So let's go ahead and show you what it looks like when we print it out. So we're just going to do a simple console log here, and we're going to print out the variable months just to see what's inside it. Okay. Did I spell it right? Months. Where's my H? Okay. And let's go ahead and show you what it looks like when we hit run. Okay. So when we console log the variable months, it shows us basically this square brace, which means it's a list, and inside that list is a array, which means a list with two elements in it, and another list with two elements in it, and another list with two elements, another list, so on and so forth. So basically, months is a list of 12 mini lists. If you hit this, left arrow right here, you can see that it shows you, okay, in the 0th index, I have a list of 2. If you click on this drop-down menu, you'll see that this array of 2 has in its 0 spot of this list, January, and then 31. If you click on this, it says February and 28. If you go down to the 11th or the 12th element, but the 11th indexed object, it says, well, the array of 2 contains December and 31. Okay, so basically this is telling you, oh, okay, this variable months contain a list of list, and the list only has 2 objects in it. So this is very useful in things like, spreadsheets, right? When you think of spreadsheets and information that goes onto spreadsheets, you think of columns and rows. Well, think of this one is, columns or rows, which one you want to think about it. Each one of these is a row, and inside it, each of them have 2 things, each in its own column, right? So that's one way of thinking about it. So here's a question though. How do I access something inside? Let's say I want to print out July 31st, right? July has 31 days. Well, how do I access July? Well, just like we did before, to access the July element, right? You need to figure out what index it is. So it's in index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I want to print out July, I just go ahead and put on some comments. To print July, okay, we're going to console log months, and inside the square braces, we're going to use its index number. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 6. Let's see if this prints out July. Okay, let's go ahead and hit run. And it does not print out July. It prints out July and 31. Because again, the 6th element inside of the variable months is itself another list that has the word July and 31. So this doesn't do it. So this gives me this. How do I get only this? Well, remember, it's a 2-dimensional array. That means you got to give it another number. You got to give it the 0th spot, right? You see how July is in the 0th spot inside that list? So now, if you want to print July, we put in another square brackets and put 0 there to access July. Let's go ahead and hit reset and hit run. And now you see here, we're able to print out only July. Now, how about if we want to print to print the 31 days of December. Okay, so we just want to print out the 31 here. Okay, so this is kind of a little quick test. We do a console log months, right? And December is not in the 12th index, it's in the 11th index. Remember that arrays are 0 index. So we're going to do 11, right? But how do we access just the 31? Well, remember, this is index 0, this is index 1. So we're going to put in square braces the number 1. And now we have, if we hit reset, we have the 31 days of inside of December. Okay, so now that we know how to access both of them, let's go ahead and make a loop that actually prints out all the days of the months, all the months, all the names of the months, and the days in that month. Okay, so remember how we did this before inside our first time we did with arrays? We went and made a for loop. So we're going to drag a for loop from the controls here, drag it over. Okay, and remember, I starts at 0 because we're using 0 base index, but we're not going to use 4. We're going to use 12. But the best way to do this is, again, to use months dot length. So however long or how many elements are inside of months, which is 12 in this case, I less than 12, it will do it between numbers 0 through 11. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a console log now. Okay, and we want to print out January 31. So we're going to print out months inside a square brace. We're going to use the letter I because we want it to go up from 0 to 11. And we're going to do the 0th one first. This will give us like January, right, the name. And then let's go and do a plus sign. And let's go ahead and do months, also I. But now we're going to do the first element, the first index, index number 1, which is the second element inside of the array. Okay, and if we do this, I think we should get it. Let's go ahead and reset and hit run. You'll see January 31, February 28, March 31, April 30, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's go and do some quick cleanup here to make it look a little bit better. Let's go ahead and add a string in the front of this, and let's just put inside double string here. We put double curly break, double quotes. Okay, we got months, and we put a little colon here to make it look a little nice. And we'll put in a plus sign here and put a double quotes here again. And we'll put in a little space, and we'll put days in this month, days in month or something. Okay, just to add a little bit of better formatting. Hit reset, hit run, and now you see months or month, January, days in months, 31. So maybe put a comma here, make sure it's easier, better formatted there. So month, January, days in month, 31. Month, February, days in month, 28. You can see here now that, we can create what we call a two-dimensional array. Okay, basically a list that contains more than just one element. So it's a list of lists. Okay, so you can see here a list of lists. This list inside it has these lists, and inside each of those lists is 2 elements: the day, or the name of the month, and the days in that month. Okay, and that's it. So that's basically how to teach you how to do a quick example, how to do a two-dimensional array. I'm going to give you guys 2 days to do this. So Monday, you submit attendance. Tuesday, I need to see a screenshot of your screen of this and this. Make sure that your name is on the upper right, so I know that you're not taking a screenshot of my screen and that you did the work. Okay, so it's only about 15 minutes, and good luck. I'll see you guys more on Wednesday for something new.